This is a first-hand account of a ghost story in our own hometown of Butte, Montana.
Pullman, Washington, which is Washington State University.
Yeah, I remember. We went there for a trip one time.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Kind of out in the middle of the wheat fields. It's a pretty good. It's kind of the Bozeman of the state of Washington.
Yeah.
So University of Washington, Seattle.
What made you move to Butte?
Well, if you know some of your history around here, in 1981, they were going to close the Berkeley Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely no one from MSU School of Architecture wanted to do an architectural internship in Butte. They were desperate to find somebody, and I needed an architectural internship. So that's what got me here. I wrote an architect, called me up, job interview was, can you draw? Can you move? Are you, did you graduate? Yes. So I moved here, and then I just fell in love with the town. It's perfect for me, being an architect. So.
How long did you live in your house before that happened?
I didn't live in it. That's what was kind of interesting. So I had to get, bought it for $350, crawled underneath there. They turned on the water. There were leaks, everywhere in the plumbing. I finally got the bathroom done enough that we could move in. And I just threw a mattress in one of the rooms upstairs. So nothing was done. The kitchen wasn't done, but the bathroom is done. So then we could start spending the night there.
Yeah.
And it hadn't been very many days since we'd spent the night there. And I don't know, if you noticed, I didn't say they were ghosts. I don't know what they are. If you can take a photo of something, that's energy imprinting on something, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of whack jobs that say, have you seen a ghost? And I'm going, it's not what it's like. It's like an imprint and a feeling, and you've had that feeling.
Yeah.
When, the hair on the back, you go, what is here? You go to a battlefield and there are a lot of people that died a horrible death. You get a feeling. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I think the word spirit is a good term, whatever that is. But, the ghost people, it's a little too much for me. I think it's an imprint. But this one was very, very intense. So we'd been working on the kitchen, doing all this rehab work. Went up, crashed, exhausted on the mattress. And then it's one of these little cottages, that you see all around uptown, right?
Mm-hmm.
These little workers' cottages. And they had finished off rooms up in the attic. And so there was this hallway that was kind of, small. And I just remember waking up and knowing that something was coming down the hallway. It was something, woke up, sat up, and you could just feel this coming down the hallway. And for some reason, it felt like it was a girl, like a really young girl. I don't know why. And so, my wife, she sat up as well. And we're looking out at the open doorway. And the cat was a long ways away. And whenever that form or kind of a dark sort of figure, with a little bit of an aura around it came down. And once it touched the cat's fur went like that, and the cat jumped all the way from beyond the foot of the bed onto my neck, clawed into my neck, and urinated all over me. And, and of course I had to get up and go to work, and my wife tells me, calm down, that can't possibly be real. Calm down type of thing. And I go, oh yeah, I gotta get some sleep. So I just kind of put it out of my mind. Crashed because I was so tired. Woke up in the morning, the pillow smelled like cat urine. My neck had holes in it. And I went, wow, that was really real. The cat, it's kind of like, you go, am I crazy? Well, the cat kind of confirmed it, and then my wife kind of confirmed it. So I say that was some form of an experience that was confirmed.
And then
along the way.
It says you saw like a guy that used to live there too.
Yes, and that was the strange, and again, painting, and I was way up on a ladder. This was maybe, I don't know, 3 months later. 2 months later, I can't remember. I'm way up on a ladder, and I'm painting up on the top of the gable, and there's this kind of strange guy, and he's sort of, he's sitting there staring and looking, and I finally go, well, can I help you? And he goes, well, I used to live here. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I grew up here. This was my family's house. And I said, well, come on in. And we've been fixing the inside. Must have been later than 3 months because it was looking better. And we had it all set out. And he talked about, we had old style wallpaper and we'd fixed it all up and taken the 60s stuff out. And we had a little rocking cradle there. And he goes, well, that's where, one of my brothers or sisters, in the family, we had our bedroom where we'd fixed that up by then. He said that's where the parents had their bedroom. And then we're walking through, and we go back into the kitchen, and then the bathroom is right off the kitchen. And he told us this story that he goes, well, I had a sister, and she was, special. He goes, retarded. You're not supposed to say that now, but mentally retarded, and she was special. And I had fixed up the bathroom with, have you ever seen the sidearm water heaters? Have you ever seen one? They're that metal, and then they have the heater off to the side. That's what everything in Butte had, these sidearm water heaters. And apparently she was kind of physically unable to do, including metal, and she fell against that super hot water tank and scalded herself to death. So she lasted for, he said, for a couple days, and then she died from her injuries, from the burns. And he said, that she was, kind of special, and it just instantly hit that feeling of who was coming down the hallway was that retarded girl that died in the house. And I just, I go, why was that so strange? Of course it shivers, so I'm going back right now again. It was just one of those realizations that that's exactly who that imprint was that young girl that died in the house. And I just remember she was hanging around there at the doorway, and I just said, I'm taking care of it. I'm taking care of the house. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of it. And she just went away, never came back.
So you never had anything else happen
Never.
like that?
Nope. It was kind of like she was checking who was here, who was going to take care of the house, and that, promised to take care of the house. Went away. Never had another incident like that. So, lots of incidents when I was working for the city because I was taking care of these abandoned buildings. But again, I didn't have a cat, and I didn't have anybody with me. And, so I've gotten those feelings a lot in this town because I would go into buildings that would default on tax sale, and nobody had been there for 3 or 4 years.
What's the worst or scariest experience you've had with them? That one, or?
I think that's the one that I can confirm.
Yeah.
But things on the line of going into a room and the window blew out and there's no wind. One of the absolute creepiest places, which a lot of kids shouldn't do, but they break into the old St. James. And the morgue is the creepiest room you will ever be in your life. It just feels wrong, So I don't know what it is that happens, but there's something imprinted. So, and what fascinates you guys about that?
The ghost story aspect of it.
Yeah, we like the ghost stories.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that, pretend to be the ghost hunter type things. There's a lot of things that are not explained. The Dumas is just ripe with feelings like that.
Yeah.
And, seeing things out of the corner of your eye. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Yeah.
And I guess people say you're whacked, but aren't we kind of in a spiritual world anyway?
Yeah.
Isn't there a certain level of belief about afterlife and different things along that line? So, but I think it's interesting that you can take an action and calm down those echoes.
Yeah.
One that really calmed down a lot of those echoes is the Granite Mountain Memorial up there. I actually designed it as an architect and pushed that along. But that was a place that had uneasy feelings about it. And when we acknowledged that it was kind of a sacred spot and we acknowledged those people up there, it really calmed down. So, I think you can take an action and acknowledge things and calm down those echoes and those concerns. Why is it hanging around? Because it hasn't been resolved.
Yeah.
And it mostly, everybody talks about spirits and ghosts and those experiences. It's when it's a violent death, they don't know that they should be dead, those type of things. So it's kind of an unresolved, imprint. And I think once it gets resolved, it kind of goes away. So and that sounds kind of whacked, but
Yeah.
whatever, I don't care. So, anything else on this?
I think that's it. Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
And there's